It's not about luck, folks. It's about effing fun. And I'm not saying that for shock effect. It's kind of my life mantra that I try to live my life by every day. It's an acronym. It stands for Find and Fulfill You Now. If I can, let me share with you why this became my little inspirational mantra, in the hope it might inspire some of you to have more fun in your lives, or at least give you a laugh tonight. If you haven't noticed the accent, I grew up in Ireland, spent my youth riding my bike through the green, lush countryside, and as the youngest of 5 kids, my 5 years of high school was spent in an all-boys boarding school run by Catholic priests and nuns. You can't imagine how shy I was coming out of high school. Any engagement with a female was a terrifying experience. I would blush bright red if I was in the same room with a girl. Terrifying creatures. I can't tell you about my college years because they weren't years. I went to college to study mechanical engineering, like my dad. And I soon realized, you know what? I'm not my dad. I'm not enjoying mechanical engineering. It's not much fun. So I dropped out after about 6 months. I eventually got the prestigious job of a trainee manager in a department store called Dunn's Stores, kind of like a Target store here. There I was, dressed in my navy blue suit, my white shirt, power tie, ready to climb the ladder of success in retail department stores. And that's where I met Miss Powderly. This young woman, incredibly beautiful, confident, she had her shit together. Even at 17 years old, she knew where she wanted to go. She wasn't competing in a man's world. She wasn't competing in a woman's world. She was competing in her world, a world where she believed if you want something, you work hard at it, you stick to your plan, and you get it. So needless to say, she got tired of me waiting for me to make a move. So she asked me out, much to my astonishment. I eventually found out her first name is Brina, and we fell madly in love. Our romance took us 6,000 miles across the world to America. And I'm proud to stand here today and say this year we celebrated our 32nd wedding anniversary together. When we moved to America first, we lived in San Francisco, and I don't know if you know this, but San Francisco has a huge Irish population. So we lived with, worked with, drank with, partied with Irish people. And eventually I said to Brina, if I'm going to live in the States, I'd love to meet some Americans. So we packed up everything we had, moved to Sacramento, and that's where we started our first entrepreneurial adventure, the Clean Touch dry cleaning delivery service. And it went really well. Business was going well, life was good, we bought a house, we bought a car, we bought a boat, we were living the American dream. And everything was going fantastically until one day it wasn't. We were living the American dream all right, but we were living it on credit. And eventually, totally overextended, had to file a bankruptcy. And in doing so, we lost everything. We lost the boats, the cars, and the house. But more importantly, I lost my confidence. Here I was, 29 years old, young dad, completely broke, having to move in with my in-laws. Not much fun in that. I quickly got a job selling advertising to small business owners on the back of shopping carts. You know those little shopping carts you see on the back of the baby seat in the grocery stores? So that was my job. I got a sales manager job selling those in San Diego. And, by the way, those of you who own a business, if you ever get approached to buy those ads, don't do it. They don't work. Okay? However, the company's sales pitch is fantastic. Completely unethical, but fantastic. And I'm embarrassed to share with you that I was really good at selling that stuff. I could go out and make $3,000 by 2 p.m. for me, not just the company, and then time to go play. Life was good again, money was flowing, my family was moving from Sacramento down to San Diego. And let's fast forward to July 24th, 1998. Friday morning, nice sunny day. I have one more $1,000 to make to reach my goal for the week. And my next sales call is in a nail store, a little nail store in the Vaughn's strip mall in North County that I was selling the ads for that week. And I walked into the nail store, and this little smiling Vietnamese lady approached. And I had no idea at that time how that Vietnamese lady and this moment was going to have such an impact in my life story. So she shared with me how her business was struggling, how she wanted to grow the business, and I explained how buying this ad on the back of this cart was going to propel her business to success. It was the magic bullet she needed. She quickly wrote me a check for $3,000, not $1,000. I walked out, thanked her. Yeah, I felt a little guilty, but hey, I had kids and people to feed and bills to pay. As I was walking back to the car, I noticed, I was thinking, hey, 10:30. I've already made more than I expected to this week. I noticed the movie Saving Private Ryan was showing in the theater. I thought, oh, why not? So I bought my ticket. I remember sitting there, eating my popcorn, drinking my 3-gallon Diet Coke, watching Tom Hanks and Matt Damon do their thing, when suddenly my world was about to be turned upside down. There's a scene at the end of that movie where there's an elderly gentleman kneeling by the graveside of one of his buddies. And he stands up from the grave and he walks over to his wife and he says, "Tell me I'm a good man. Tell me I'm a good man?" I froze. I don't remember or don't know what was going on in the universe or where the stars were aligned that day. But I sat there frozen in the moment. I don't remember people leaving the theater. I don't remember the cleaners coming in to get ready for the next showing. I sat there frozen in the moment thinking, oh my God, I do not want to get to be 70 or 80 years old and wondering, am I a good man? Have I figured it out yet? And I knew in that moment I had to change something. So I left the theater, went back into that beautiful Vietnamese lady, and I gave her back her check, and I explained to her that the ad was not going to do what I had told her, that I lied to her to get her money. It took me longer to talk her out of the contract than it did to talk her into it. But in that moment, I learned integrity, and it felt great. Next, I had to call my wife and explain to her that I know we're just getting back on our feet, and I know we need the money, and I know all these things, but I can't continue to do this job because it's soul-destroying. I was a little nervous. And I called up Brina, and I'll never forget the 30 seconds of silence on the call. I expected her to say, Colm, we have young kids. We're just getting back on our feet. We have bills to pay. We have things we have to do. We're moving everyone down to San Diego. We need this job. But she didn't. She didn't say that. What she did say was, Colm, I love you. I believe in you. And obviously, you're having some sort of a meltdown, breakdown, crisis moment. And so, if you need to find something that's going to fulfill you, I'll support you 100% on one condition, that you talk to somebody that's going to help you through this, and we'll get through this together. What an incredible woman. So the next call, of course, was to my boss, quit my job. Next day, flew to Sacramento to have a meeting with two people that I really believed in, my ex-business coaches, Ron and Lisa were their names. And I shared my meltdown moment with them. And the very next day, they called me up, and they were so impressed with my Saving Private Ryan moment that they invited me to become a partner with them in their business coaching practice. They agreed to train me for 6 months. And during that training, I remember listening to Lisa, how she would communicate with clients, how she would listen with caring, and then calmly and confidently give them step-by-step advice that was going to help them improve their business and where they wanted to go. I was impressed. I wanted to be them. Brina and I worked morning, noon, and night building that same business here in San Diego. And Brina, with her superwoman powers that only women have, she's bringing up 2 young kids. She's heavily involved in their schools, volunteering. She's helping me grow the business. She's arranging networking events. She's coming to networking events with me, running the office, taking care of the finances, and of course, by the way, also having a job as a marketing person for an elder care agency before she got her real estate license. How do you women do it? So the business was great. For 7 years, I was in a place where I was feeling fulfilled. It was really felt. I was getting calls from clients saying how much they were enjoying working with me, the results they were getting, thanking me. You see, money no longer motivated me because I realized that it's about feeling that you're helping people. It's about feeling that you're being fulfilled in what you do. But even though it was going great, I felt a little bit like a fraud because even though I was getting good results, we were doing good things, the stories, the strategies, the things I was helping these business owners with, they weren't my stories. They were somebody else's. So I wasn't feeling like I was 100% me. So once again, it was time for what Brina and I call a hot tub chat. With the wine pouring, the bubbles gurgling, we had probably the most honest, vulnerable, amazing conversation a couple can ever have. We started getting clear on effing fun for us. What did we have to find to fulfill, not just me, but us now? We made lists of things that we wanted to do together. We made lists of things we wanted to do as individuals. We made our bucket list, our effing fun list. And shortly after that, I launched my own coaching company online where I coach naturopathic doctors across the world to grow their practices to help their patients. I tell my stories. I share my experiences. And I love it. And it's all online. One of my favorite sayings is, have Wi-Fi, will travel. and we travel a lot. So, folks, we finally found our effing fun, at least for now. And ladies and gentlemen, when I got to the point when I stopped listening to other people, when I stopped second-guessing myself as to how could I compare to them, and when I became 100% me, knowing that Brina was by my side every single day and we were going to pack as much fun out of this thing called life as we possibly can, we found our effing fun. So I encourage you, I encourage each and every one of you to take the time and find the strength to get really honest about what truly fulfills you and take action on it now, because the Private Ryan clock is always ticking. And then go have some effing fun.